Hello, you wonderful people. I hope you're doing well. So there's going to be a new update coming. So when you see this video, it'll be 4 hours from the video will be coming live, the update itself. There'll be a new map in the southern part of Alaska. It's a industrial fuel depot. We'll also be getting an extra building, which is the twin MG emplacement, which is really cool. Also, I want to say thank you for all the people that told me what mutators are. I will never ever make that mistake again. Quite a few of you commented on that, so thank you. They actually released the changelog right before the day before the update actually comes out, so we'll look at that. There's some very good buffs for the Merida Saw, which is something that I've been looking forward to, which is something that I talked about in the previous video where I think they needed to add an extra mag and increase the mag capacity. So they actually did that, which we'll cover. So for the fuel depot, which is the new map location, it's included for both AAS and ARC game modes. There'll be a cliff that overlooks the valley. So imagine that 300 movie where the Persians were being pushed off. Hopefully that doesn't happen to us with the bugs. There'll be a new machine gun emplacement, the twin machine gun emplacement, which we saw in the first movie that they used at that outpost where they got ambushed. This will actually take damage as you use it, so maybe you can buddy up with someone and they can repair and you can fire. Next we have the mutators. So thank you for telling me what mutators are. I don't know why I thought they were like stealth bugs because it's just a weird idea. Anyways, this will come to both AAS and ARC game modes above the easy difficulty. So if you want to have a more casual game, you can do that without having to worry about the difficulty buffs or debuffs, for example. There'll be 2 types of mutators. One will be for the arachnids and one will be a scenario mutator. So for the arachnids, depending on the actual buffs or debuffs, you might get extra XP or less XP, so we'll see how that actually does. Essentially for the arachnid mutators, you can get stuff like an arachnid rush, so they're going to be even faster with decreased health, or increased health with decreased movement speed, or increased attack speed, or increased arachnid damage with decreased arachnid movement speed, stuff like that. We got bugs, which is an arachnid infestation spawns at the start of the match, or bugs inbound spawns in the middle of the match, or ambushes. A lot of the stuff I like this. Increased patrols, more arac pack spawns, patrol disruption, fewer arac pack spawns. Double threat, all infestation level increases are doubled, which is really good. I would like to see the cap of the infestation increased to 10 if they're going to do this, so that way we can get a very, very hectic match. Threat level maximum increases the infestation. Threat level maximum match starts at infestation level 5. This is a very interesting one. I'm quite excited for that one. Threat level caution match starts at infestation level 3. So next we have the scenario mutators. I'm very interested in one of these, which I'll point out in a sec here. Sandstorm, so reduce visibility. This is going to be cool. Low gravity, your jumps are going to be higher and you'll essentially float. Integrated health stims, you'll regenerate health, which I like. Reviving disabled, so no revives, which is going to be interesting because the operators will get capped quite hard. This one is quite interesting. The martyr, troopers explode being down and they revive or respawn immediately. I would like to see the same thing for the arachnid. So let's say if an arachnid, there's 2 mutators that I'd like to see for the arachnid buffs. The first one is arachnids explode on death. That would just make the game so hectic. The second one, I want a grenadiers only match where every bug that spawns is a grenadier. Can you imagine like you trying to take cover from like 100 falling plasma shots? Like you just, there's just, it's not possible. You're just gonna wipe. The next one is the scan blades. Melee attacking and arachnid scans it. It's like a scan grenade effect essentially. Probably my favorite one, the CM48 Night Star field test. Troopers' knives are replaced with tactical maces that sweep and stuns arachnids in an arc. So we're turning into full-on knights and we're gonna go retake Jerusalem from the arachnids essentially. Explosive maces, troopers' knives are replaced with maces that arachnids on attack. This is cool. Build tool malfunction reduces build tool speed. This is cool. I like this. Integrated utility fabricators slowly replenishes utilities. So we'll see how all this stuff affects. One thing that I'm very happy to see is that they're adding Asia East and Asia Southwest servers, as well as Australia Southwest servers. Southeast, sorry. I saw a lot of people complaining that there were no servers for Asia because I was playing on some nights. And I'm not blaming the Chinese players because they don't have servers, or at least they will now. There was a lot of Chinese players or Asian players playing on the West server because they didn't have servers, but I'm glad that they'll have their own servers and they won't have to experience lag anymore. If we move on, I'm not going to talk about gameplay here because this is stuff that's like kind of small, but one big thing is that they did remove the XP glitch. So they reduced the XP gain from rearms, revives, and heals, as well as removed XP gains from self-support actions. So essentially that video that I made where you just rearmed off of your own ammo supply won't work anymore, but you could do it with 2 people where you resupply off of that person's ammo and that person resupplies off of your ammo, but it will just take longer because it will be less XP. Now if we look at class operators, so if we look at the class classes and loadouts, only one class got affected. Essentially, the ability cooldown went up and the duration of the ability went down, which I kind of support. Also, it heals on activation. I support this change because the operator is broken. It is the best class in the game. If we look at weapon balances, so they made some changes in terms of design styles for the weapons. So the Mutator Mark 1 is the assault rifle in the game. They're going to make it so that way it's more optimized for mid to long range engagements, which I support. The Mutator Mark 3 saw, which is some buffs that I had said in the last video that they need to do, or the previous video, they're actually doing that now. For example, the weapon's going to be optimized for short to mid range combat, which is good. They increased the magazine capacity from 150 to 200. I fully support that. I also see that they're going to be increasing the carry capacity from 2 to 3, which is also very good. You can use your iron sights finally. Also, they're going to be reducing the vertical and horizontal recoil while shooting in hipfire mode, which is good. I would also like to see a hipfire or a setting that would allow you to use non-ADS iron sights like what we're currently using, just something that you can flip in the settings depending on what you like or dislike. The Mutator Hawkeye, so they're making this more of a sniper rifle. This is a very powerful weapon. A lot of people use this. Essentially what they're doing is they're making it more long range and bullet velocity is being increased, and the sight represents where the bullet's going. Also, it's going to be having a slower rate of fire, and the more you move with it, more penalties you'll get. So you're going to be moving less with it. So for pistols, I'm going to be honest, I forgot which one's the heavy hitter one and which one's a light pistol. I think the Emancipator is the heavy hitter one. You know, it's just pistols essentially. The Mutator Mark 1 carbine, which is the SMG, they're making this better to run and gun with, and it's going to be optimized at short to mid-range combat. Also, it will kill faster than the Mutator Mark 1 assault rifle essentially. For the grenade launcher, it's going to be applying a stun effect to bugs, which is really good, so it's kind of more useful to bring on the battlefield for elite bugs. Also, the crosshair utility and accuracy, so the first bar is going to be sighted for 20 meters, and each bar below that is going to be sighted for additional 5 meters, increase projectile velocity and increase minimum spread while hip firing. So I do like these changes. Also, some smaller changes. I'm just going to talk about one. They're actually, the proximity bug mine is going to now ignore drone bugs, which is really good. The cluster grenade got buffs all around. The thermocharge got nerfed because the increased deploy speed, I don't know why. Also, the nuclear detonation pack increased damage and increased damage radius. I would like to see them add an ability to manually detonate the nuclear detonation pack. I think it would make it much more worth it. Currently, just bring yourself a chem grenade or a Molotov, not a Molotov, a fire grenade. That's much better than anything else you could bring. Just the area denial is way too important for a game like this. But I'm not going to cover the rest. I'll actually link to this if you want to read it before the patch comes out. Essentially, by the time you're watching this video, it's 4 hours from the time the video goes live. The patch will actually come out and you'll be able to play it yourself. I'm very excited for the Mutator Mark 3 saw changes, and we'll see if they actually swap around where the perks are for some of the classes, because like I said, I dislike that you have to go get to level 20 to unlock the extra magazine capacity for the Bastion. But with that being said, you have yourselves a great day, and I'll catch you on the battlefield, and take care.